Hey, what's up? This is DJ Prostyle.
And this is Penny Dellas.
And this is Teach Me Something.
Brought to you by Berkeley College. All right, welcome back to Teach Me Something podcast.
Presented by Berkeley College.
An award-winning podcast.
The award-winning podcast
with
itself with yours
Penny
truly
Dellas.
and Prostyle. And we're all over the place today because we actually finally have our awards in.
We finally have the awards.
You good? Okay. Yeah. If you're watching the podcast right now and viewing it, we are holding the award up. You see this? This is the award right here, official. And it has a lot of weight to it, which really means it's official. You know, if it was like hollow, it wouldn't be as official.
No. I'm glad it came with a cloth because the way we've been handling these awards, we got so excited.
Well, once I take it home,
we unboxed them.
No, it's going to go into like a glass thing where nobody can touch it.
I love it. So how many radio awards do you have?
I don't have any. I don't think I have any radio awards. Crazy, right? I have like 100 plaques from being in the industry.
The albums and
but
everything.
actual awards, I'd have to go back and see. I've won awards, like Mix Show DJ Awards and the Latin Music Awards and all that kind of stuff for DJing, but never anything has to do with radio or obviously a podcast, being that this is my first podcast.
Cool.
So how awesome is this?
So now you got to add it to your glass case.
I'm gonna send a picture of this to all the execs at iHeart and say, you know, I've never won a radio award. Hello.
Weird.
Only been here 13 years.
Weird. And interesting enough, we have an executive with us today.
That's why it's so perfect that she is here.
So,
the one who reached out to me first and said, hey, Pro, what do you think about doing a podcast? You know, Carolyn is the one who reached out to me about it.
You know, we had this big, powerful introduction for Carolyn Whitman.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, we are overwhelmed with emotion because Carolyn is a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
She is a creative force. She is a mama bear, and she takes care of all of us. But most importantly, she creates impact through strategy and creativity. And she really builds a familial-like ecosystem. And that's how I see her.
Thank you, Penny.
So, goodbye.
Wow, you trying to pull one of my things? Wow, I'm rubbing off on her too much.
We have
Welcome to a new year.
Wow.
Of sales for New York, iHeartMedia in the building. Carolyn Whitman is with us.
Yes. Book writer.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, book writer and everything. I'm going to learn so much about Carolyn today that I didn't know.
Who knows?
In the last 5 minutes leading up to us starting this, I was like, what? What?
She is an author.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
A series called Penelope.
Children's books.
She has 2 installments. We're waiting for the third.
Well, the third is not a Penelope book. So the first 2 were written about a fish, Penelope. She was inspired by my grandmother. I wrote them while I was sitting at Tiki Tan tanning salons when I was in college working on break. But yeah, my third book is actually how to tell your child they're an IVF baby because I think that's super important for them to know. So stay tuned.
That's
so
awesome.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You're learning so much right now,
So
Pro.
much.
Yeah.
I got to write a book.
You should do a memoir.
It's a really good outlet. But these are children's books, so it's like fun. There's colors,
My book
illustrations.
definitely, I don't think could be a
Yeah.
It could.
My
Baby
son, though.
Pro.
Yeah, Baby Pro. No, Baby Pro's my son, Alexander. So we always had labeled him Baby Pro, and he already wrote a book.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he wrote a book. So
All right,
we're
Baby
actually
Pro.
we're gonna get it published and everything.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he wrote.
What's it about?
It's like a journey. It has to do with a whale. Like it's Alexander's. It's like part 1 of Alexander's world or something like that, where he's gonna have different adventures, and this one has to be in the ocean, like in a submarine with whales.
Yeah,
and all that.
I love this.
Me and Baby Pro in the same wavelength.
Our oldest, me and my wife's oldest. You know, he's 9 years old. This kid already wrote a book and
so cool.
Well, yeah, for sure he surpassed me. Yeah,
that's it.
With intellect, forget it. He's out of here. I mean, no, he plays the piano. He's obviously top of his class and always in grades. But he also comes home. He was taking Arabic school for years. He was taking Chinese, learning how to speak Chinese. Wow. So he's just that
Greek.
kid. No Greek, right? No Greek. I know, right? You know,
add it to the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, add it to the list. You know, his grandmother could teach him Greek, and
there you go.
know, and then his grandfather could teach him Spanish, so he'll be
go.
all right. But yeah, the kid he's always been like that. You know, he does plays. I'm sure if you see my Instagram, he like lead role in plays. So now he's into sports.
Cool.
So he's
lacrosse. I saw that.
Lacrosse.
My husband's a lacrosse coach.
Well, he can come to the pod and talk about his book.
Yep.
He would love, by the
There
way.
you
He has a
go.
YouTube channel.
Oh, there you go.
I'm trying to keep him away from the media side, like, because I feel like his His bar is so much higher than what my bar would be.
No, I mean that's inspirational. You know, for kids. Yeah.
Especially like kids have so much like access to things now. Like the world is their oyster. Like there's so much they can do. So it's cool that he's actually doing it.
Yeah.
Go Baby Pro.
Let's go. Baby Pro.
I love this. All right. Listen, Baby Pro has everyone in media already, so we got him.
Yep.
There it is.
All right.
So
next guest, Baby Pro.
Baby Pro. That would be amazing.
I love this. And speaking about communications, so that was not a good segue, but we're going to keep it.
All right, I'm feeling it. Like, where are we going with this one?
Speaking of communications, you earned your degree in communication and media studies at UConn.
Sure did. Go Huskies.
And you were also homecoming queen.
I was.
Tell us about that moment.
Honestly, it was wild. Like, homecoming at UConn is no joke. Like, there's so many different rounds of voting, and there's so many different rounds of, like, you have to, like, go through so many different things. And I'm super competitive. Obviously, I'm in sales, so I'm like, I got to win this. So the first round, like, your sorority picks somebody. They pick somebody to, like, be, like, in the running. So I genuinely think my friends picked me because they wanted me to sing When You're Good to Mama from Chicago as my talent. So they were already, like, foreseeing that they wanted me to get to the final stages. There's, like, 3 different rounds of votings. Of course, I made Vote for Carolyn Whitman t-shirts. They were hot pink. Everybody wore them. Then you had to, like, sit down and be, like, interviewed with all the deans of students. And then you finally get to the competition. And the competition is, like, a full-blown pageant. So you need a talent. You need, oh, my gosh, what else was there? It was talent. It was, like, storytelling, costume. And I channeled my, like, writing. So I made a book called Delta Gamma Girl and, like, brought her to life because there's, like, themes. There's all these different things. And I wound up winning. Funny part of that story is Homecoming King was actually Steve Dellas, who works at iHeart too.
No way.
Stop it.
No way.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Can you imagine his face just pops up? Call me.
Be like, hello.
Insert his face right here.
Yeah.
Wait,
so we
so
went
for
to
the
college
same
together.
Which
homecoming.
now we're going to have
Yes,
to have
but we
Steve
were,
on,
like,
on the podcast.
2 different organizations. Like, at first we were competitors because he was partnered with a different sorority.
Wait, so what was your guys' dance for homecoming?
You don't dance. There's no dance. Like, you have a talent. Yeah, no, it's like a whole, like, it's almost like a pageant style. Like, there's Q&A, there's talent. My talent, I sang When You're Good to Mama from Chicago.
Okay.
Steve did, like, a dance through the decades kind of thing.
I can see that.
Steve did all the different dances.
Oh,
where's the video to this?
Oh my gosh. So he was doing, like, the Running Man
Okay.
and different things and all that.
Yeah.
We need video
We need
to
video.
edit
It was
it into
really
social.
good. It was really
Oh
good.
my God.
So
Okay.
yeah, it wasn't like you think of it like a homecoming like dance in high school.
Interesting.
It's more along the lines of like a competition between all campus organizations.
We should make a homecoming.
Yeah.
I just want to see these
There's
videos.
floats. You have to make like a float. Like it was intense. So yeah, then we had like a big party after. It was great. It was amazing. And then you get to go on the field.
The fact that
during
you guys,
halftime.
and then at that point in your life, there's no way you guys were like, we're going to end up working for the same company.
Never.
In the same,
You know, so
Never.
So
on
my
the same
question
floor
was
in a
going to be,
building.
how do we go from Carolyn in the Jersey Shore
Yeah. Yep.
to
Jersey born and raised.
iHeartMedia, but now with the homecoming story and the floats and the creativity, I see it.
Yeah, it all kind of came to.
Yeah.
You know what I think the funny thing is, and especially Berkeley College, like you go to college, and I think a lot of people don't know what their destiny will be.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like at college, you learn so many different things, right? You have your core curriculum, you have internships, you have networks, you have all these different things that you're building and growing. But you meet so many people. And a lot of times, like I think every job I've had was because of someone I met at college and a network that I created that helped me build my life and my life outside of college. So yes, I went to college with Steve. We went 2 totally different directions. I was like, I want to be in PR. I want to work in fashion. I want to work in editorial. And Steve was like radio through and
DKNY,
through. Yes.
Puma Kids.
Yeah.
Not small brands, Carolyn.
No, that was actually my gosh, my first job. I graduated in the middle of the recession. So it was 2008, I want to say, and there was literally no jobs. Like you couldn't find a job anywhere. So I had already like put a down payment on an apartment in Hoboken because I like lived as a dreamer. Like I'm going to get the best job and I make all this money. And there was nothing. So I wanted.
Well, you envisioned it.
I envisioned it.
You manifested it
in my
That's
brain.
right.
It just took a really long time to get there. I started interning for Us Weekly magazine. So I was an intern, and then I worked at Anthropology on the weekends because I was like, I gotta make money. I have this apartment. Like I need to figure out my life. So I was, and working in editorial, I thought it was like super glamorous. Like I'd be doing all these things. It's gonna be amazing. It was wild. So you have to like, there was no technology, no like AI at that time. So you were transcribing interviews for hours, and then you would see these celebrities come in and out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, are those the Kardashians? Like what's happening? And then as you like build relationships, people are like, hey, I can't make it to this event tonight. Can you cover it? Can you do this interview for me? And I would always be like, yes. And then I remember the first time my name got published in an Us Weekly magazine. I thought it was so cool. And my dad really loved, and my dad and my grandma loved like gossip columns and like magazines. So they were like super proud. But then I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is crazy. And I remember the like editor at the time, she was like, there's an opening at Cosmo. Like, would you want to work there? And I was like, that is my dream job. But she's like, it's like a 6-month interview process. And I was like, I can't pay my bills. So what am I going to do? And then at the same time, a friend called me and he was like, my parents are looking for an assistant. They work in children's fashion. Like, would you be interested? And I was like, sure. So I met with John and Shelly, and that's how I got into children's fashion. I was working with DKNY, Puma, Anisha, Baby Fat, but all like the children's licenses. It was wild. So that's kind of how I got there. And then I just, I kind of like went around in the children's industry a little bit. But I like was kind of like missing something. Like I was like, there's something, like there's got to be something more to this. And like, don't get me wrong, anyone who works in fashion, in wholesale, like it is a hustle. Like it is a whole nother world. But it just wasn't like my passion point anymore. And I saw Steve living this life, and he was at all these events. He was working with all these different brands. I've been a radio baby since like day one.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to all of our stations. Like I think like Delilah was like something I listened to every single night as a kid. Yeah. Like, and her voice just like was a part of my childhood. But even like KTU, Z100, like Angie Martinez, I remember listening to her through and through all the time in college. So seeing that opportunity, I was like, I love media. I love radio. I remember messaging Steve and being like, hey, I saw that you posted that iHeart is hiring. Like, could I apply? And he was like, of course you can apply. He's like, but I can't tell you if you'll get the job. He's like, you have to interview and go through everything. Yeah. So I went through the whole interview process. It was crazy, but like the fashion world is so different than media. I remember I made custom cookies and I came in with coffee for my interview, like set up this whole like scene. And now that's helped me so much, like build relationships and build moments and like create moments, which is pretty cool. And I guess the rest is history. I started at iHeart in 2015 as an account executive. And now I am vice president of sales, working very closely with Pro on KTU and Light FM. Mm-hmm.
And Carolyn's the best, by the way.
She really is.
But all the stuff you did also helps with what you do here at iHeart, right? Because even the way you said 100%. You came in for your interview and you had like a presentation almost, your interview, part of being in sales, I'm sure, had to do with winning people over as clients is part of the presentation. And so you going through all those different routes helped you probably learn how to create this space and this, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like a presentation that helps versus just sitting down at a table with somebody across from them and having a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Even though the roles I was in weren't the right roles for me, there was so much I took from it and took out of it because that builds who you are and that builds your brand later in life. So like every single job I was in, like I could pinpoint different things from each one of those that has added to my success in my like career now, which is kind of cool. Like you look back and I think sometimes as like a kid, you have this mentality and you're like, I know more than everybody else. Like I've got this, like, but then you have to like sit back. And now as I look back on the people that have really helped me build who I am, there's so much I've learned from so many different people that are like these unique takeaways that I'm like, if that wasn't in my life, I don't know if I'd be where I am today.
I see how I'm more coming.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one thing that, and going back to your, when you going back to college for you said something and it takes us back to all our episodes essentially. And if I had to come up with a word right now to describe, one word to describe this podcast in a whole.
Okay, Pro.
Okay, because I know you're right.
Oh, we're getting into it.
Here we go.
He got serious for those of you that are not watching.
It's one word that keeps coming up, and we've hit on it so many times.
In every episode.
And I think what people really, at the end of the day, no matter what episode you watch, no matter what you do, what you're going to find out in life, the most important part, if not one of the most important parts of becoming successful or moving forward, is networking.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And I feel like every single person who sat here has brought up networking and it's helped them open the doors. And even with you, if you didn't network in college and then meet Steve and you might not have been following Steve's journey, which led him to posting that post, which opened the door for you coming and saying, hey, I see you posted this together. Networking is so important. And anybody out there watching or listening, whatever you're doing right now, just make sure that you are networking. Yep. So it's not about just studying the craft. It is about being, mastering your craft and getting as good. But networking has to be so important with what you're doing. You know, in any field, it doesn't matter. Like even as a DJ, you know, and not to veer away, but networking was a big part of it.
Yeah.
You know, meeting promoters, meeting club owners, meeting is what leads you into those venues, is getting booked to DJ here and DJ there. And then when you're DJing at one place, somebody comes up, hey, I own a bar. Oh, yeah, let's talk. Changing numbers, talking on the side. Next thing you know, you're DJing at their place, blah, blah, blah. So it's all one big network. There's no, it's
and
just
it's also
network.
about how to network. It's about being intentional,
Yes,
but also leaving an impression.
Oh, yeah.
And this day and age, with digital marketing and all of the different platforms, LinkedIn, 95% of employers hire through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So everyone should have a LinkedIn Pro. We're working on yours.
I was about to say, I don't
But-
have one. I don't have one. I'm so
Everyone
old school.
should have a LinkedIn. But even with that, when you go to conferences and you go to symposiums and all of these things, you meet so many people, and then what happens? We don't follow up
Yeah.
or we don't follow through because it's just so much and we're being so bombarded. That's why you have to network with intention. Know the people that are there. Find out what they're into. It's not just about what your title is, where you work, but it's who are you as a person? Is there synergy there? And what does that impression
find the connective
like?
tissue.
Oh, yeah.
Like you walk
Correct.
into a room of strangers, it's intimidating. You're like, I could either choose to talk to the people I know or sit over there and eat an appetizer and call it a day. But like, how do you bridge that conversation? Like communication skills are so important. Like, how do you communicate? And once you've built that, how do you nurture it? Like, how do you follow up? What's your next step? Like, how do you build that? And once you have that network, how do you start to know other people's networks? Like, how many times have I called you Pro and I'm like, hey, I'm in this situation. Do you know somebody? Like, do you have somebody? And Pro always has somebody. Like, always.
Well, I'm the king of hitting her up like, hey, do you have a hookup for this? Da, 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 da. First of all, my wife has, she knows Carolyn. So she's like, hey, hit Carolyn and ask her this. Hey, da, 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 da. I'm like, bro.
I can't ask
Like,
every
we
single
get it.
day.
Carolyn's the plug, but Jesus, no, we want to go see a show.
We figured it out. But like, it's true. Like, you need to know your networks in order to like know like how to leverage them and grow from them.
But
and
even that, you know, we had looking at enrollment. We all know things took a dip last year with higher ed. I sat with Carolyn. I'm like, what can we do? Can we do a round table? Can we sit? She's like, let's figure it out. Let's meet with other partners and see what synergies there are. So it's always about your network, but also developing and nurturing that relationship, both in the professional and outside the professional setting.
100%.
And going into personal. Even our live episode.
Ooh,
that
which
we
was
did,
amazing.
Season 1, we were so intentional with that guest list. So everyone in the audience was someone. And so many people left expanding their network from that day. And I would get text messages and emails. Thank you so much for the intro and the soft intro here.
Yeah.
So it's really about being intentional, which you are with your creativity.
Try to
and
be.
building these partnerships. So talk us through what a contract looks like. How do you build that?
I think it's really different for every partner, right? Because every single partner has a different KPI, they have a different direction, they have a different mission. And a lot of it comes down to listening. Like if you're not listening to people and you're not listening to what they're looking to achieve or where their challenges are, you can't help them. And you're going to wind up just throwing darts at a board and hopefully it sticks. But if you listen and you truly listen to somebody, you can come back with something that's going to help them and help them grow and help them meet what they need to, which then turns into a long-term partnership. Like for Berkeley College, like we started working together almost like a year ago to the day, right?
Yep.
But you've worked with iHeart for 20 years.
20 years.
Which is incredible and such a testament to what a partnership is. Like a partnership should have longevity. But we did something totally different together that hadn't been done before because we're really
sitting in it.
I know. And with Victoria and Jill and Pro, like we really listened to each other and really figured out something that would be really special and really different. And that's what it all comes down to. And then you take the creativity and there's different people who are good at different things and knowing everybody's skill sets. And that's how you make magic.
And now we have awards.
And now look at these bad boys. These are great.
And now we have
Pro
awards.
keeps looking at his and spinning it around. And he's so proud. Look at Papa Pro. He's so proud.
Yeah.
Papa Pro.
He's
This is so cool.
It really
is. This podcast was an idea a year ago. Like that's what it was. It was an idea.
We sat down. We spoke about, we did a gap analysis. We did State of the Union, which is typically when we meet with a partner, it's this is where we are. This is where we aim to go within a year.
Yeah.
How are we going to get there? And then if you have great partners, they come and say, all right, let's talk about some ideas. And I remember it was the first time you and I were on a call together. And what we learned rather quickly is that Carolyn and I are the same.
We are.
And we went on like 12 tangents, but we went down a lot of different things. And we had just launched our new program, Media and Communications. And you had said, well, do you have radio on campus? And I said, no, we don't. But, you know, due to this and this, I had this concept and we came up with that. And, you know, she said, okay, give me a week. And a week later, she's like, so we're going to meet with DJ Prostyle.
Mm-hmm.
This is the great fit. And, you know, you go through that. So it's one
Carolyn
thing
knows
is...
Pro's going to do whatever. I'm just going to...
100%. But I also knew that this would work. Like, your two personalities are just...
But the synergy's there.
Yeah.
But you look at your KPIs, you look at your measurements, you look at your audience, you look at your target segmentations. And through that, you say, okay, show me the 3 stations. Does the audience match? What does that likeliness look like? What does the messaging look like? What does the personality look like? Does that jive with this brand? And do our ethos have synergy?
Yep.
And they did. We did the vibe check and, you know.
Vibe check was high.
Yeah. Over a year later, here we are.
There's trophies.
Here we are with
awards.
awards.
No, it just, and I think a lot of times, especially, I think people coin creativity as like big ideas and out of the box thinking, but there's also like strategy that goes behind it.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
You can have this amazing idea, but how do you make it make sense? Like, how do you make the mechanics work? Like, how do you drive it back to KPIs and do all those things? And I think a lot of times when you're thinking of something new and different, like this is very new and different in the education space.
It took us, and what people don't see is it took us 6 months going back and forth, negotiating, shooting ideas and making sure that this was something that was going to fit and stick.
Yeah.
And then testing it. We did those first 2 episodes to see what that would look like. Is this something we can move forward? And then Pro, you know, forced me into this journey.
I forced you into this journey. No, I love it because every episode could relate to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it's all about. You know, that's what Teach Me Something's all about. Yeah. And it's funny because when we talk about, I'm listening, and you guys talk about like panels, and you know, there's always these big panels, and you know, people go to panels to learn essentially, right? Everyone's talking about their story back and forth, and they're basically teaching the crowds. People are learning off these panels, and I feel like without it being an actual panel, it's what we're doing every week now.
Yep,
that's exactly what we're doing. And you look at experiential learning, you look at environmental learning, and that's exactly what this platform offers. I mean, we have students come in and shadow and intern. We have students that are not physically here, but they're going through the episodes and seeing what that looks like. So that's experiential learning, but then we have environmental learning.
Yeah.
We're putting it into practice. We're getting into people's homes, people's jobs, their way to work, and they're listening to the podcast or they're listening on WR710, wherever the podcast is. So you're reaching the audience through innovative communication.
Yeah, and where they are.
And that's where it is.
You got to be where somebody is and where somebody's listening. And that's what this does. And for those, our main theme today is networking. Like if someone's listening right now and they're like, oh, I'd love to work in media, like email me. You know, like if there's another guest that's on the show and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting to me, I'd love to learn more, email them. Like that's how you build a network. Like there's going to be nobody that says like, you know what, I don't have time for you. They're going to figure it out and find them on LinkedIn and figure out ways to build that network because that's how you grow. It's not always the rooms that you're in. It's the rooms you put yourself in and the conversations you put yourself into.
You have to spark the conversations, and you can't be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not about, I always say, getting into the room is easy. It's what are you going to do when you're in there?
Yep. How do you make yourself memorable?
Speaking of memorable.
Ooh, Penny, that look. Where are we going?
What is your most memorable brand activation that you've done?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I don't even know if I could pick one. There's been so many, and I think every different part of my career, as I go back and look at them, there's ones that like really resonate. I think the one that's resonated with me throughout the years is definitely with DeLonghi. DeLonghi's been a partner of iHeart's for 10 years, and they were one of my first partners when I was an account executive that I was able to bring on.
So it's special. It's
super special
moment, yeah.
But
they
also
hold a special place in your heart.
Yes, very much so. But to keep something new and fresh for 10 years, it takes a lot of collaboration, a lot of partnership, and a lot of like building and growing and understanding and listening. Yep. And over those 10 years, we've kind of curated this program where part of proceeds go back to Cookies for Kids Cancer. So that program, not only is it doing something amazing for DeLonghi and spreading the word and getting the word out there, but it's also doing something good for people. And I think for me, the underlying like theme I've had in my whole career is like the programs that give back in any way. Is it giving back through education? Is it giving back through doing something that's creating hopefully cures for children's cancer? Like there are so many ways that in marketing, in working with businesses, you can do good. And I think for me, it's always those partnerships where we're doing good that it resonates with me the most.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is.
There you go.
That's awesome.
So if anybody needs a coffee machine, DeLonghi's the brand because they give back.
Any brands that, well, maybe you can't talk about saying, is there any brands that you're not a fit or you're excited to work with coming up?
Oh my God. I think anyone. I think if anybody has like a challenge or it's something they're looking to do or looking to reach, I think that's the beauty of iHeart. iHeart has something for everybody. Yeah. It's just figuring out the right asset, the right tool, the right way to let people know.
It's so amazing. Like, and shout out to iHeart. I just got to say, because in today's climate, right, with radio, and if you really follow radio and you understand what's going on with a lot of other companies and way things are moving, iHeart is so, like, they're really ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, with the deal they just did now with Netflix, with you know, with podcasts and with putting shows on there.
Yeah,
and,
with TikTok.
And just with
we're now a TikTok partnership.
Exactly. TikTok.
Sorry, I'm readjusting. I'm falling off the seat.
Yeah. But in general, shout out to, you know, everybody from obviously Bob all the way down.
Yep.
Everyone involved with just keeping this brand at the forefront and obviously always pushing ahead. I remember I used to DJ they used to have these like meetings, like, which were great, right?
Yeah.
They were like, remember those, like, I don't know, I want to call them parties almost. But then in the middle of it.
Was I invited to those?
Yeah. There was like these parties I would DJ.
You left me off the list.
Then they would stop halfway through them and do a presentation.
Yeah.
Which would explain where radio is today and listenership and how it's growing and everything from.
Now you have AudioCon.
And
everything. Which was so cool, wasn't it?
It was incredible because they would break down numbers that and I've been on radio my whole life, but you just don't know these things. You know, and you look and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Wow. Yeah. You know, the impressions that iHeart gets when you put them up against like a Google or somebody like that, and you'd think that they would be higher, but no, iHeart is just so much higher than everybody else. Like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sure you use all this stuff like in your sales
all the
stuff.
time.
Like, hey, so you want to be with us? Or
Here's how we do it.
Here's how we do it over here.
And I think
it's always the numbers behind. No one realizes that.
And the research, the storytelling. Yeah. Our head of research is amazing. You've heard her speak before at She's Pro. Amazing. I know you have too, Lainey. She is a way to take numbers and make them exciting and make them interesting, but also tell the stories that people want to hear. So I think that's really helpful for our partners because numbers are just numbers until they make sense for somebody.
Yeah.
And then they resonate. So.
No, it's always good. During our marketing mixer at Berkeley, this was our second year doing it. And we do a State of the Union and presentation, kind of like what you do at AudioCon. And we show this is what's going on within the landscape, but this is what's going on for us and partnership highlights. And it's always good to show what those numbers are.
Definitely.
Where you expect to aim to, why we didn't, because that also sparks interest with the partners of what can we do now to collaborate, to aim to this goal? How can we improve? How can we pivot, you know, be fluid and do that, which we're doing.
Yeah. No, that's what it's all about. So, very cool.
Seriously, I can't.
What was it? A little fuzz?
I'm like, I can't.
That's what happens when you have kids at the house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, I like came in today and I had like it almost looked like a bite mark on my arm, and I was like, oh. Well.
I almost have to keep one of the
We're cutting this, Peter. I was
like,
you know the rollers, the lint rollers. I have to like now start hitting everything with it because there's like these kids have. Like, I'll leave my jacket somewhere and then I'll come back and there's like 10 towels and things on top. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, you never know.
Children.
Yeah.
Well, talking about Peter and numbers, he's giving me the cue like, yo, we're way over.
Geez.
Doesn't matter. Peter. Doesn't matter.
We're getting good content, Peter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Let's
so that means
see.
we're going to end the way we always end, correct?
No, I have one more question.
Okay.
Because then if we need to cut something, we can cut something.
Okay.
It's better to have more pro than not.
Of course.
Peter's like, whatever, this person. We're over time.
Sorry, Peter.
Okay. So serving as the vice president of sales in New York for iHeartMedia's multi-platform group, what does it take to lead and sell effectively in one of the most competitive media markets in the world?
I look at every day as a blessing, right? Like I am so blessed to be here. I'm so blessed to be on this team. Like the people that I work with every single day are the best of the best. Our clients are incredible. Like the talent that I'm surrounded by is, like 12-year-old Carolyn would pinch herself to know that she was in these rooms. I think there's so much that comes back to it. And I think what really it comes down to is having heart and really like being able to figure out, like, days are long. Like sometimes things are really tough. Sometimes, you know, you have like a team of people, and like people are people. Everyone goes through different things in their life. Everyone has different challenges. And like my job is to get them to their best potential, right? And to get the best out of them and to see how they can hit their goals and reach their goals. But you have to be humanistic to do that. And you need to kind of find that boundary between business and relationships, and really figuring out how to grow a person and help them succeed. So like for me, I think that's the most important part of my job, is watching people find their potential and watching them do incredible things. In the process, I get to do that as well. A lot of my passion for what I do and how I do it, and my work ethic and everything that ties back to it, comes down to when I was an infant. I had a 3rd-degree brain hemorrhage. They told me I'd never talk, I'd never walk, I'd never be able to do anything. They actually told my parents to put me in a home because I'd be nothing more than a vegetable.
Wow.
My parents, my entire life, have pushed me to be better than I was. So like they never like settled for okay. They never settled for she's just going to be like, this is it. This is what it is. They've pushed me every step of my life. And in turn, I've always pushed myself. So in business and in this world, like I always push everybody to get to where they need to be because I can see their potential. And if we all just keep doing what someone sets for us, you'll never be able to be who you can be or what you can achieve, because the sky is the limit. So dream big, think big, and you never know the seat you'll be sitting in 5, 10, 20 years from now.
Wow. Incredible.
That's it, guys. That's all I got for you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Did that answer your question? Did I go off tangent on that one?
You did, and I have so many more that I think we're going to have you come back for a part 2.
We're going to need a part 2.
An obligatory part 2.
Yeah, because Peter's getting nervous.
Because I have 2 more pages of questions that I'm eager to ask you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so eager to ask you all, but we don't have time.
Yeah, we really haven't got deep into like
we haven't.
Especially on the work side for people out there who want to get into your field. You know, there's a lot probably more.
Yeah, and leadership as, you know, women in media, this is an industry that is male dominated.
Mm-hmm.
And to be a powerhouse at the top and getting into those conversations of, you know, how do those spaces look now? Being inclusive and pivoting.
It is a different world than where I started 10 years ago. Like there's so much female representation and so much female leadership, not even from like looking around the room. Like there's so many, like I have other co-managers who are female. There's senior leadership that's female. The president of the markets group is a female. But with that, I have to say all my male counterparts are so supportive. And I never feel like the woman in the room. I feel like I'm a part of the room.
Yeah.
I think that's the company you want to find yourself in, is the company that makes you a part of the conversation. But yeah, inclusivity is, I mean, it's an incredible place to be. And I think that's why I've been here for 10 years. Not only is it something new and it's like a new company every 6 months, I feel like there's always something new and something under the table, but the people are incredible. Like I am so privileged to work with some of the most impressive, talented people across the board.
I always give thanks. I always say that.
Mm-hmm.
I always send emails to send people all the time too. Just gratitude,
mm-hmm.
especially after certain events and things like that.
Yeah, when you think about it, like
company culture is so important. It's something that many overlook.
Yeah,
but you have to think about what your values are, what your ethos is, where you want to go, and look at the company and see if that's reflected there.
Mm-hmm. Because it becomes a part of who you are.
We spend more time at work than we do at home, so it's extremely important that you really look into the company where you want to work.
Well, when we do part 2, we're going to need the video of,
100%. We're cutting to the video.
Right. I'm going to have to hunt down Steve's and
video
find that one.
for sure.
Steve's is
and
really
we're going to
good.
get Steve in here for sure now.
Yeah.
No, I love this. Well, we had many gems of advice throughout this episode. So
there you go.
Appreciate that. But in true Teach Me Something fashion, Carolyn, in one word, what do you aim your legacy to be?
One word for my legacy, inspiring. I hope that I inspire others somewhere along the line to find themselves, to find what they want to do, to find passion, to really achieve what they can achieve. Because realistically, at the end of the day, like if we're all shooting for the stars, like let's all shoot together. So I hope that inspiring. I hope that's my legacy.
That's awesome.
I love that.
I love it. All right. Well, this was amazing.
This is great.
This is great. Thank you for watching and listening to Teach Me Something.
Yes, with Penny Dellas,
DJ Prostyle, and Carolyn Whitman today.
Woohoo! Presented by Berkeley College, where your potential is our promise.
See you next time.
Hey, thanks for listening. Tune in next week
for an all new episode of Teach Me Something.
Brought to you by Berkeley College.